Thanks, Steve. I have been lucky over the last decade. I have had the chance to experience more kinds of ATV adventures than most. Aside from just the fact that this is part of my job and therefore I get to go a lot, it is also that I get to travel with so many different people. Through these varied experiences, I've come to realize that there are basically two kinds of thrills that come from riding ATVs. The first and most fleeting is the thrill of power of the machine. Climbing, racing, taking air, the sand dunes sort of thing. It's an adrenaline rush. The other is more cerebral. It is the thrill of discovery. And I'm finding that the more I ride, the more I like the second thrill, and that there seems to be many more people looking for that experience than the first. Don Kramer is one of those exploring class ATV riders. He's vice president of the Utah Arizona ATV Club, and I recently had a chance to spend a day with him in the beautiful desert landscapes of Kane County. Don moved to Kanab about 4 years ago, picked up a GPS and a map, and has been exploring ever since. The GPS has become his treasure map. Each time he comes across some long-forgotten piece of history or some undocumented arch or feature, he makes a note of it on his GPS and saves it for the next time he travels that way so that he can share his cache with a friend.
I think I've scratched the surface, and I've seen a lot of the places, and I've even found some spots, like hike along in an area and find a grindstone or a metate or a single petroglyph in the middle of nowhere. It's not very often, but every once in a while it happens.
Today we are in search of Montezuma's Tunnel, one of dozens of old mining sites that dot the backcountry. Montezuma's Tunnel was an area of great interest in the old days, where it was rumored that there was a great stash of treasure in the hills. In fact, most of the men in Kanab left the city to strike it rich, leaving the women to run the business, the schools, even the local government. Kane County has hundreds of these historic sites tucked away in the remote reaches of the Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument, each with a rich story to accompany it. The only problem is that travelers stumble across these time portals to the past, and they have no idea of the history that goes with them. Kane County at one time sought to place small kiosks to help interpret the history of the site, but unfortunately they found that it was against the policy of the National Monument to erect anything in the backcountry. So the Kane County Tourism Bureau has taken a different approach to share the wonders found out there on the monument. They are producing a CD filled with GPS waypoints, each with a written narrative of what the explorer is seeing, along with a video clip that will show the site and explain it. People can choose a spot to explore on the disc, watch a video, load the GPS, and then go see the site for themselves. The GPS coordinates will lead them there on legal routes and deliver them to the site with pinpoint accuracy that no old treasure map could ever duplicate. Kramer thinks that this kind of experience is the only way to appreciate what life was like for our ancestors, both recent and ancient.
Those people were tougher than we are. They were willing to put up with a whole lot more than we do, and we need to appreciate. If you can't see it in person and experience how hard and how difficult it is to get there, you can't comprehend it. I mean, to sit there and say, oh, they had to haul this 30 miles through the sand. Until you've tried hauling a backpack through a mile through the sand, you can't comprehend how tough those people were.
The CD will contain old mining sites, pioneer homesteads, movie set locations from Kane County's heyday as the Little Hollywood, ancient Indian petroglyphs, and other remnants of the past.
Up on the Paria, there are spots where they took grease from the axles on their wagons and marked on the rocks. The rocks have eroded away and the grease is a raised area that's still there.
The disc will be distributed by the Kane County Tourism Bureau and will be free for the asking. Some skeptical of the plan fear that people will not use the disc because they are unfamiliar with GPS operation. But Don says that the learning curve is easy. Just pick up a GPS a couple of weeks before you make your trip to Kane County.
You can learn how to do it in your own neighborhood. You don't have to come out in the country. Mark some waypoints, mark some tracks and follow them. Learn to trust it. Take you a lot of places.
Kane County Tourism plans to update the disc each year, publishing a new edition so that people can have new adventures awaiting them when they return. After all, it is a big county with lots of history dating back to, well, the dinosaurs.
Pretty good idea. Gives a little bit of exposure to people that wouldn't see it, might not see it. Kane County is a beautiful place. I've been here for 4 years and I'm still learning new places every day.
From Kane County, I'm Chad Booth. Back to you, Steve.